What's up guys, Omega here and welcome back to the channel. We have got some ACC for you today. This is going to be racing on the new league, SimGrid. So here we are in a race. I am doing my qualifying lap before the race and coming on to finishing the lap, and I don't know what this guy is doing, but yeah, we have it coming together. And that ruins any chance I have of qualifying. So you can see my disappointment there in the corner. I'm not very happy. I don't even know what happened. I left a gap of like 5 seconds. So, I mean, it just is what it is. I don't really know what to say. But yeah, that basically ruined our chance at a qualifying lap. We have a lot of cars in the race. There is 21 cars in the race. We are racing with Rory Alexander, the man himself. He's just there underneath the camera, but he does manage to get a qualifying lap, unlike us, unfortunately. This is very good, the SimGrid Seasons it's called, and basically you just have to do 3 quick races, which are tracks on a rotating roster, so to speak, and they're a little bit shorter, no qualifying, and they just give you a taste of what it's like to race in the series. And then yeah, you get into this, which is Proving Grounds, which is very good. It's Spa, and you have qualifying for 5 minutes and then a 20-minute race. So very, very cool. It's like a daily race B, but like longer. And then you also have the Mini Enduro, which is like a daily race C. It goes 45 minutes. They have weather, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's crossplay on PS5 and the newest Xbox. It's a new league. You just go to the website, sign up. I won't go into all the details on how to do that in this video, but yeah, it's very, very cool in my opinion. Yeah, so we're going to be starting at the back, P18, Rory up there in P5. He did, as I said, manage to get a qualifying lap in. And here we go. We are about to start the race. Starting at the back, not ideal, but I'm sure it'll make for some entertaining racing. But anyway, off and underway. This is ACC's version of rolling starts, so it says keep left, so I have to keep to the left side of the track, try to keep the little white box, which is me, in the green. And yeah, the cars are all ghosted, so you don't really need to worry about that for the meantime. But yeah, here we go. We're about to start the race. 21 cars starting P18, and the last 2 races have been absolute chaos going into Eau Rouge, and a little bit of frame drops there. I believe that's maybe because of console, not too sure, but I'm taking it very easily on my approach into Eau Rouge for the first lap, because as I said, the last 2 races I got taken out basically straight away, so ruined the races, and I'm trying to avoid that happening again. So even coming here into the first corner at the end of the straight, backing right off, letting the BMW go through, because I don't really want to get involved in any shenanigans here. I'm just trying to have a clean race. And the thing is, I also don't know really, they do have a kind of like a driver rating system. There's somebody off, we get a freebie. But they don't have a safety rating just yet, so I don't know what the skill level of these other drivers are, or like what their racecraft's like, or anything like that. So it's a bit of a gamble right now. The racing has been okay, and here we go into Puhan. Bit of chaos kicking off. Luckily, I foreseen that and kind of was able to avoid getting caught up in any of that. But yeah, we gain a few positions there. Up into P14 we go on the first lap here, and just trying to get settled in. Although I do play a lot of ACC on the PC, well, I say a lot. I play it, and I very much enjoy it. Especially of late, I have started to lean more towards the actual sims on the PC, ACC, iRacing, things like that. And yeah, so here we are. We're on the back of this Ferrari, and I thought this was a McLaren at first, but no, it's a Ferrari. But yeah, I am, like I said, I'm hesitant to go for moves and things like that, so I'm trying to just keep my distance. Because of the ping as well, I don't want to kind of cause chaos and things like that. So I leave extra space for, extra room for error, so to speak. I'll try to. But yeah, just try to keep the pressure on, stay on them, and try to force a mistake, basically. But patience is very much a thing in these races. Even if I could go for an overtake at some points, it's sometimes it's better to just wait back and be patient. Sometimes it doesn't pay off and you get taken out by somebody who's impatient behind, but for the most part, the racing's pretty decent so far. The first 3 races were a bit of chaos, I must admit. But yeah, hopefully as time goes on, people will get more confident, more used to the racing and things like that. And here we go, side by side with the BMW. I couldn't quite get past that Ferrari, so I just let him, let the Beamer go through and thought, yep, well, if you can get past this guy, then maybe it'll open up an opportunity for me. Somebody did go off behind us back there, the Lamborghini. So, yeah, don't really know which cars are the best or whatever, but we are just going with the Mustang because I absolutely love this new GT3 Mustang. Fantastic addition to the game. I even bought it on iRacing just because it looks and sounds absolutely incredible, I must say. But yeah, so we lost a few positions there, unfortunately, and we're back to P15. But that's the way it happens sometimes. That's the way it happens. Just have to be patient. Well, we lost 1 position. I say a couple of positions. We lost 1 position to the BMW. So it's no big deal. We are losing a lot of time in the traffic here. But as I said, it's just I guess we're just feeling things out. I didn't get a qualifying lap in, so, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, unfortunately. And yeah, again, just trying to be very patient. The BMW going for, well, I think he realized that he missed his braking point, so he just tried to do his best there to avoid an incident. This really confused me. I thought, what the hell is going on here? He's got no penalty, his car didn't reset, he's not Gran Turismo. I think he just gets a warning for that. 3 or 4 warnings and you can get disqualified, I think, for track limits. So yeah, anyway, the race continues and he maintains the position, and here we go. We are coming up Eau Rouge. I don't know if that's the right word. I think it's Radion, something like that. But anyway, the Ferrari gets absolutely sent to the Shadow Realm. I don't know if that was his own doing or the BMW gave him a little bit of a helping hand there, but either way, we do gain a couple of positions. So very, very good for us. And yeah, that was what we were waiting for. There is another yellow flag, as you can see, being waved. And we're going to find out why in just a second. The seas have opened. There's a car on either side of the track, and there's dust everywhere. It doesn't look good for those guys, but that is very good for us. Another couple of positions. We are already up into P12. And yeah, so progressing quite well. Started P18. And yeah, we're just trying to basically stay out of trouble. That is pretty much the goal of of this race. With so many cars on track, it's easy for accidents to happen. And as long as you kind of keep it together and stay on track for the most part, I think you'll do quite well. Even though, as you can see, my lap times are not very good at all. I do know I'm capable, even at this point, even though it's early on, I'm capable of well under 220s. But yeah, obviously in traffic, it's a bit of a different story. And he, I don't know what happened there, but he seemed to brake. I don't know if it was netcode, but he really slowed down there. So yeah, I didn't feel contact or anything, but I mean, it kind of looking back on it, I feel a bit bad. I maybe should have waited for that guy. But at the time, I just thought, I don't know what the hell happened there. So I carried on. Lost a couple of positions again. And yeah, bit naughty from me, maybe, looking back at that, to be honest. But like I said, yeah, during the race, it was very different, and it seemed like he was going very slow there. I don't know what the go was, but anyway, we carry on with Omega Taku, and yeah, we've now managed to get up into P9 because there's a bunch of people in the pits, Rory being one of them, I believe. By the time I finished this race, I did check back on his stream, and it seems like he got involved in an incident, not of his own fault. He was coming around the corner, and there's two cars lost control. They've had a bingle, and Rory's unfortunately got caught up in it. So that was basically his race over, and yeah. So we did get to race with Rory in the same lobby, but we didn't get to race Rory, if that makes sense, unfortunately. But I'm sure there'll be plenty more opportunities to come. And yeah, very good. And I believe that it's very much due to his influence that these lobbies filled up. Him streaming it brought a lot of people from the chat into the races. So I think it's very good. And yeah, SimGrid and the community behind it seemed to be very, very good. They were all in Rory's chat, and people were asking questions, and they were giving answers, and everyone was giving feedback and things like this. So very, very cool to see. Honestly, you don't really see that very often, and yeah, to me that says a lot. I think this could be a very, very big thing, considering that it's crossplay with PlayStation and Xbox. Something very long overdue for console, in my opinion. ACC, like I said, it's a fantastic game, and LFM have shown that on PC with their league that they have going. But yeah, console, basically there's nothing. I mean, it's Gran Turismo, and that's just about it, really. As far as racing goes. Well, as far as I know anyway. But it's good to see ACC now has a bit of something on console. I do love the game personally. I love GT3 racing. It's probably one of my favorite forms of racing. And the Mustang, I mean, having a modern race car in the game is, yeah, I mean, it's quite nice, isn't it? So, anywho, I'm just blabbering on right about now. But yeah, you can see a lot of people in the pits there. We are up into P9. And yeah, that's basically where we're at. I did struggle to get the tire pressures up to temp. I do think that's because I was kind of stuck in traffic the whole race. So maybe if I had been able to open up this Mustang fully, then I probably wouldn't have had the same issue, but it is what it is. I'm just trying to be patient and yeah, not ruin anyone's experience, including my own. It's not very fun when you crash in this. It's quite final. If you do have any sort of decent incident, your car does not feel very good. It does not feel very good, and you have to pit to repair the damage. It's not like Gran Turismo. The BMW getting quite a poor exit out of here, and I had to back off there. And he's going to defend, and yeah, I probably would have been more confident to go for a move if I had have raced this guy before, but I'm just not sure what, as I said earlier, I'm not sure what the skill level of these drivers is. I'm not sure what their yeah, what they're going to be like. I err on the side of caution in the beginning. I think that's the best way to approach these things. And as I said, especially with the connection, unfortunately here in Australia, we don't get good connections to most of these leagues, LFM included. I think the American server is actually not too bad, but the European one is not ideal, and I think that's probably where this is based, European servers, and it makes sense. I mean, they have a much larger population, much larger player base, so yeah, it makes sense from that standpoint, so I get it, but kind of sucks for us here in Australia, to be honest. But it is what it is, and that Lamborghini just had a meeting with Barrier. That is not really where you want to be, sir. But that is good for us. We are up into P7 all the way from the back. From P18, we are now up into P7. So we've made over 10 positions already in the race. And we have someone coming out of the pits here. So he's a lap down. Doesn't ghost because it's not Gran Turismo. So you've got to be really aware of what's going on around you, including the lapped cars. Because, yeah, it can end quite badly if you are not careful. So just trying to hang on to the back of this little group in front and get a bit of momentum. So, well, we really want to try and get the tire pressures up. That is one thing. And as you can see from the Delta, we are on for a sub 220 here, roughly. But yeah, just because we're in traffic, we just have to keep adjusting, and we can't really be running the laps that we ideally can or should be running. But yeah, as I said, it's only early, and it's not really what it's all about, is it? I'd prefer to have just some good racing, try to stay out of trouble rather than just forcing the lap times, even though I probably would have been able to if I had have gotten a qualifying lap in without getting taken out. But yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is sometimes, and that is one of the things about having the qualifying before the race. You either get a qualifying lap in or you don't, basically. That's the way it is. So as you can see, the tire pressures are starting to come up a little bit. Still not really, well, they're nearly ideal, but I think you want them around 27.5 roughly. So yeah, doing laps that are 3 seconds slower, not really ideal for the tire temps apparently. So yeah, we do a 220.6 there, personal fastest lap. But yeah, I think I'd done low 219s at this point, so I knew that I could definitely be quicker. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But very much enjoying this. I love Spa. Absolutely love Spa, in case you guys did not know. So this being at Spa is an absolute W. And the understeer there is an absolute L coming up Radion. I'm probably butchering the corners names. But yeah, I don't know if it's dirty air behind the BMW there. But the car just wanted to go straight on. But as I was saying, I do love Spa. I do love the Mustang. So those few things, and yeah, that was basically it to get me into giving this SimGrid stuff a go. Very good combination of track and cars. Well, it's GT3, always good racing, and Spa is always at the top of my list of favorite tracks. But as you can see, the rear end of this car is a little bit slidey. I do have traction control quite high. It's on 6. And I can turn it down a little bit when the tires warm up, but yeah, the tires really need to be at pressure. Otherwise, the car is just, it's absolutely lethal. It is absolutely lethal. And I've been trying to dial in the setup as I go through and learn more. So my current setup, I've managed a low 218 with. So yeah, making progress. Pretty happy with it, and most of all, having a lot of fun again, racing. Good to have something new, something different, even though ACC is not new, obviously, but yeah, something new to focus on and practice, and you know, all that stuff. I almost did go through with the Beamer here, but luckily, because there's a little bit of contact, I probably would have made it through, to be fair. But as I said, I'm just trying to err on the side of caution, really be careful and aware of the fact that some of the other drivers, like I said, I don't know what their skill level is, and here you can see, luckily the BMW had seen that coming and was able to avoid that. They do have a driver rating or a rating system, but as far as I know, so far there is no safety rating. So that is that's what I mean. I just don't know what these other drivers are like, so I tend to err on the side of caution. But yeah, anyway, we get another position. We're up into P6 all the way from the back. P18, we've currently made up 12 positions, and we are now onto the penultimate lap. So very good racing so far. Very good drive from the BMW in front, Mr. N. Chandler. He's come from the back. I believe he started behind me, actually. So we've both had quite a good run. Quite a good run, if I do say so myself. And I believe it's at this point that I realize my fuel. You can see me there, my eyes darting across the screen. I am starting to panic a little bit because I'm thinking, I don't know if my fuel is going to last. The previous race, I had way too much fuel and it was costing me a lot of time. So yeah, I adjusted the fuel, but I wasn't confident that that I was going to be able to make it. We have another yellow flag. There is another car facing the wrong direction. That man is he's parked where he should not be. You can't park there, sir. But that's another position. We are up into P5. We're in the top 5 all the way from the back. So very, very good. Very good progress made throughout the race. And yeah, we're just basically going to try and stay with N. Chandler here. You can see me fiddling around with the HUD. The low fuel icon on the dash has come up. It changed from blue to red. So I'm in panic stations right now. I don't know if I'm going to run out of fuel, but the spotter tells me that the leader is on the final lap, which puts me at ease. And I know that, okay, we're going to be able to finish the lap. I was looking for the fuel map and yeah, starting to panic. So I got a bit distracted there and lost a bit of pace. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Nearly got taken out there by the Mercedes. Don't know if that was me going very slow into that corner or he's missed his braking point. But either way, we carry on. We carry on and we go on to the final lap of the race. And yeah, this is basically the final lap. So yeah, very much enjoying this. Very much enjoying this. If you guys are as well, do not forget to drop a like on the video if you want to see some more SimGrid ACC content. I'm currently very much addicted to it. Very much enjoying it. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We are on our way. Slowly but surely getting there. I appreciate each and every one of you that does subscribe and does like the videos. It does let me know that I'm doing something right. So yeah, and the car basically is yeah, it's very low fuel, and you can see it coming down there on the dashboard. Way to get the anxiety going when you don't know whether you're going to make it or not. And yeah. But P5 is going to be a solid result here if we can just bring it home. We did lose a bit of time to N. Chandler during our fuel shenanigans. I was in panic stations. But we are closing the gap back up, coming in towards the final corner. On the final lap, very good race so far with N. Chandler. Very, very good race. And as I said, very good progress. P18 all the way up to P5. Are we going to be able to make it to P4? Coming into the final corner, we kind of have the run, sort of. He goes defensive. I was going to stick it here, and then I realized I think he's not going to make the corner, and luckily I didn't stick it there because I would have been pushed off. But yeah, it is what it is. Very good result either way. A lot of fun. And yeah, that's one of my first races on ACC on SimGrid. So very, very cool. And for whatever reason, Mr. N. Chandler decides to give us a little nudge there. Don't know what that was about. Don't know if he's not happy about something or whatever, but either way, good race, good fun. Very much enjoy this racing on the console, and should open up a whole world of racing to the console guys. As I said, very much overdue. Kudos to SimGrid and everyone involved. The community seems to be getting behind it. Look at this car. Doesn't it just look absolutely fantastic? and it sounds so good as well. Absolutely in love with this new Ford Mustang GT3. But I digress. Yeah. Seems like the community is getting behind it. There's a lot of people streaming it and things like that, making videos of it. I think it could be a huge thing. I think it could be huge. The fact that it's cross-play with PlayStation and Xbox, very, very good. And yeah, the guys hopefully continue to develop it and turn it into something very, very, very good. So I wish them all the best. They, yeah, I'll continue to play it as long as it's a thing. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.